rebound is scurried after by Lockridge, offloads to Brazel, straight away to Talbot, who lays it home. Winding down the shot clock here, Brazel from outside. Personality is infectious as cutting the basket goes Tafayan. Brazel looks for an option inside, whips it cross court, Fagan puts the move on, steams to the hoop and lays it home.
Sunday Hoops hits the Harbour City for the Sydney Flames and the Adelaide Lightning as the league's newest two coaches face off. Arja Paramamar for Adelaide and Renee Garlop for Sydney, and one will walk away with their first victory this afternoon. Welcome to the Key Centre as the players arrive courtside, checking in thanks to Minor Hotels. The Flames will regain Lauren Nicholson tonight, and that is an important in for them after an injury-riddled round 8 against the Townsville Fire. Liam Ellison here in commentary, and alongside me this afternoon is Championship skipper for the Southside Melbourne Flyers, Beck Cole, and Opal's Olympic bronze medalist Rachel Jarry. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Liam. What an exciting game we have today. There's a few matchups I cannot wait to see. Two Australian Opals, Lauren Nicholson versus Steph Talbot, and then also Unique Thompson versus Sanaya Fagan. And both teams looking for their fourth win this season.
And like you said, Liam, we know that both teams have had recent coaching changes, which it's hard enough for any coach to come in at this point in the season, let alone first-time WNBL coaches. So both teams have had a little bit of time now with some games and trainings under their belt, so I'm excited to see what both coaches implement today.
It's meant plenty of change for both clubs, but Agnes Emanobu and her first pro campaign has been a constant with grit and hustle off the bench.
Agnes, great to chat today. You've obviously got the Adelaide Lightning. You guys lost to them last time you played this season. What have you seen from that one that you can obviously try and adjust and get the win today?
Yeah, I think for us it's just like, I guess, throwing the first punch. I feel like we kind of let them, you know, throw the first hits and like we were kind of just complacent. I think this game we're ready to like, you know, be the aggressors.
You guys had a slow start in that game, which kind of set the tone for the rest of it. Obviously, a couple of injury issues today as well. Is it next man up mentality? How do you guys rally?
100%. I feel like you saw it in the Townsville game. We had a lot of DPs, players step up, and you know the young girls came on and had a great impact. So I think everyone's just ready and like prepared to do what they need to do.
This is Renee's first game at home since taking charge as well. Her family and friends are in the crowd too. How do you guys kind of get behind her and really try and fight for her and her position as well?
Yeah, I feel like Renee has done a really good job of just pouring into us, and I think for us in this game with her people around, we're just going to try and do the same back.
Amazing. Good luck today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Great to hear from Agnes Emanobu there, who's into the starting lineup today, and she's provided a constant source of rebounding, but also able to stretch the floor. It's a well-rounded game.
Yeah, it certainly is. She is that hustle player, that glue player that can play multiple positions, and we know she's always going to do the 1% of things. I'd like to see her get more involved offensively with a scoring output. We know that's been a little bit of an issue for Sydney this season. It's been left to too few, so hopefully her and a few others can help contribute today.
These two last met in round 4. It was a 17-point victory for the Adelaide Lightning at home in Adelaide. But late in that contest, Serena Sundell heartbreakingly came up with that ACL injury. It has meant, though, increased opportunity for Taylor Brazel, and she's taken it with both hands.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Taylor, you guys are coming into this one off the back of 3 losses, but there have been some really good signs under Arja as well. How do you feel that the group has been progressing?
Yeah, you know, 3 losses isn't amazing, but I think that we're building the blocks slowly, and we really feel like the last couple of weeks at training we've been building something really special, and we're definitely improving each week, and I think we're just ready to get out there and show everyone, you know, what we've been working towards and how much we're getting better.
You obviously had a win against the Flames earlier this season. How much confidence can you take from that one into this one, knowing they're also in a similar position on the ladder?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously it's nice to have beaten them before in that game. I think we can take a lot of confidence from that game and look back on the things that we did well then. Obviously there are other things that we've been improving on and needed to improve on that hopefully we can also bring into the game and hopefully put all that together and just beat them.
You shot the ball particularly well in that game, 3 or 4 from deep. Is that something that you've been working on from an individual point of view this season?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like in the team, kind of my role, I feel like I do get a lot of those shots, and yeah, the team has given me lots of belief, and I definitely worked really hard on my shot, and yeah, it's nice to see them go in.
Looking forward to a few of those today. Good luck. Thank you.
She's been shooting at a high clip from distance this season, Taylor Brazel. And her backcourt mate, Dallas Lockridge, as well, has had a big uptick. It was a breakout campaign last season for the Flyers. Well, she's taken it to another step up there.
She sure has. She's had a breakout season again with her new role, a new team in Adelaide. And she's averaging the 16 points, 4 assists, and she's going to have a blinder, I think, again tonight.
Let's welcome in the fourth member of our team here courtside at the Key Centre, Jo Healy. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Really looking forward to this one. As you mentioned, both of these teams trying to find their feet under new leadership. Renee Garlop obviously lost her first one to Townsville last week, but this is her first game on their home court. When I spoke to Agnes before, she told me off camera that one, they absolutely love the home crowd here for the Sydney Flames, but two, they really want to do it for Renee and respond well. So that is one thing that I'm really looking forward to today. And obviously the Adelaide Lightning, they've got a point to prove as well. Hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Thanks, Jo. It was a 33-point loss in their first outing with Renee Garlop as coach, but it doesn't tell the whole story. They were ravaged with injury. They went to DPs, and I thought in the second half, Rachel, they really had a crack.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw, consistent effort, particularly, as the game was getting away from them. So it was, it would have been heartening for coach Renee Garlop, and, they've got a few reinforcements back today, and hopefully we see even better effort.
They sure do. Lauren Nicholson back out there. Here's Talbot. First opportunity for Adelaide. Sanaya Fagan. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Rachel Jarry with you in commentary here for a WNBL doubleheader. Great to have you company. Imanopu immediate attack. And the first two for the Flames.
And Rach, you said it early. You wanted to see Imanopu really bring more of an offensive presence, and that's a great rip drive to start the game.
Talbot hesitated initially. Great take. Shanice Swain was one of those players who came up with a knock to the knee in the last outing against the Townsville Fire. She'll come off the bench today, Beck.
We all know Swain Train can get going hot in a second, so hopefully she might be on some limited minutes. We might get Jo to find out a bit more for us, but again, we know how much energy she can bring to this team.
Nicholson down the boulevard and coming across. Talbot with the D. Going forward from Lockridge. How's the ball movement from the Lightning? Brazel off the dribble. And Lockridge to cap it off, not that time. Nicholson pushing the issue. 2 feet in the keyway, Unique Thompson stripped clean from Fagan. Clean D once more and creates space. Thompson staying with the play.
And that matchup is going to be so exciting all game. That was great defense by Fagan with the block. Kept her arms up nice and straight, but Thompson just never gives up on plays.
And I just need both of our big girls out there to stay out of foul trouble today. We want to see a full 40-minute matchup between these two.
Absolutely. Here's Michaela Can rolling down low. And the whistle first on Rabati, who missed on Tuesday for the Adelaide Lightning, Rachel. Important piece in the starting five.
Yeah, Adelaide are quite undersized, especially in those big positions. So they did miss Rabati, particularly with Fagan being in foul trouble in that matchup on Tuesday. So, out there, just a bit of extra size, a bit of extra strength, really important for Adelaide.
Can corner catch. Lockridge able to cut off that lane baseline. Great D.
And that's good defense. We can see the Lightning are icing on pick and roll, so that means they're not letting them use the screen. They're forcing them away from it. We saw Imanopu with that first layup, but that's some great defense pressuring them. Now they get a turnover, and now they get to go down the other end.
Lockridge probing. Kicked out with Talbot. Top of the arc three, just strong. Nice touched off rolling.
Both teams are getting really good shots at the moment. There's good intent. They're shooting confidently, and they just need to keep taking those right shots, and they'll start dropping.
Rabati. Handed back to Talbot, who's shown some real intent through these first 3 minutes.
She sure has, Liam, and we all know how aggressive she can be. She is the leader of their team, really brings that experience, and she does it in all areas on the stat sheet. She's averaging almost 15 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals a game. So she's crucial for the Lightning in their success.
No doubt from Thompson. And that's off the foot of Fagan. Sydney basketball.
And turnovers will be something to watch this game. Both teams have the unfortunate stat of being the worst turnover teams in the league, averaging just over 17 a game. So it's going to be really important for each team to look after the ball.
Flames still without Olivia Apupa as well. Concussion. Nicholson just in time. Found the cutting Thompson.
What a dime by Nicholson. She is one of the best pick and roll players that we have in our league, and we saw she went up for a jump shot there, but just found a great dime to a big man.
And there's Eminopu got there. Lightning were prepared to concede the backcourt. Now they'll get a chance forward with Brazel and connects.
She spoke about her shooting earlier, Rach, so it's great to see her get off to a flying start.
Absolutely. They need that extra person averaging double figures. They've only got the big 3 in double figures at the moment, and Brazel's probably that next one that needs to continue to step up.
Strong box out from Fagan. Now she can launch forward with a rake and take. Lockridge wide open. And Talbot on the attack down low. 4th offensive rebound already for Adelaide. Nicholson. 1-point ball game here at the Key Centre in the Harbour City. Brazel's picked up her dribble. Risky find to Fagan. She can opt forward. Now they'll reset with Can. Thompson. On the block with Fagan. This one of the real key matchups. And the fall away is true.
That was just a really nice poised play by Thompson. She checked her space and then a beautiful fadeaway shot.
Lockridge turns the corner. Lockridge crafty inside with a teardrop. And Froling drawing the foul. First against Dallas Lockridge. That Thompson matchup down low with Sanaya Fagan. A lot's going to ride on that, you feel, Ben?
It sure is. Those 2 post players are so crucial to each team. So like Rach said earlier, they need to stay out of foul trouble. They're their main 5 pieces for their action, and they create so much attention that then they can go inside, but then they can look to their inside-outside game.
Erin Bowman checks in for the Lightning. Injury replacement player for Serena Sundell. McSpadden off the pipe. Great hands from Talbot. $15 minutes a night per game rather this season for Lara McSpadden, and she's been really productive in that time. 9 to work with. In with Swain, straight away he from the corner.
First touch, straight in. That's exactly what you want, and, you know, that'll make her feel really good. We know that she's such a great player. Has probably been a little bit down on output this season, but if they can get her going, they're going to be really dangerous.
Fagan in the post. Makes her move on the left. McSpadden did well. Swain with a confident stroke. Not far away. Eminopu thought about it. And now 5 to work with. Swain's got to go here. Gets to the spot. It's a great take. Can't get the result. Not on the same page. Uncharacteristic turnover between those two, but in the Amy replay, Shanice Swain straight off the pine and in for her first 3.
She's like a microwave. She can get hot quick. It does not take long. But they're those sorts of turnovers, Rachel, we're talking about, that just miscommunication, unforced errors that both teams can't really do in situations like this when you need to get a win.
It was a great pocket pass. The tie-up from Talbot was clean. Flames from the baseline. Caitlin Martin in there for the Flames. Same spot for Shanice. Talbot spotted Tofayono down low. Tied under the glass. Talbot arrives. Does well to retain it. And draws the whistle.
Adelaide have started with not a great shooting percentage at the moment, but they are getting the right shots. They're getting good looks both inside and outside. So, you know, as long as they can continue to take the right shots, then, you know, their offense is working. So they just need to stick with it at this point.
And then they can be in those rebounding positions, Rach. If you're shooting those right shots, then you have rebounders in place. And they've already got 4 offensive rebounds so far this quarter.
Ashley Strawbridge for 3, but it's an offensive foul against the Lightning. Both sides do go to their bench extensively. It's really a shared minute situation, Rachel.
Yeah, it is. They've got, you know, a couple of players that will play that heavy sort of 35 minutes, but majority of both of these teams do spread their minutes. They've got, you see a nice dive there from Kelly Froling, but, you know, they've got trust in their bench, but also it has been a little bit out of necessity with some injuries and things that have gone on with both of these teams. But, you know, when you get minutes into your bench players, that's how people improve. You improve when you're playing, and so when they get everyone back, it means that you are a deeper team and can be, you know, more challenging to other teams.
Arjapara Mamar on cue, just rolling through the subs there, reinserting Brazel. It's 4 turnovers now in the quarter for the Lightning, and a couple really unforced. Nicholson's strong take. Two at the line to come for Loz. Don't miss your chance to catch a game live this summer. It is the perfect family day out, getting the in-arena atmos. There's nothing like being in the crowd and part of the action. Scan the QR code now on screen or visit WNBL.com.au to find a game near you and snatch some tickets. Fifth in league scoring, Lauren Nicholson, 18 per night. An 8-point advantage for the Flames. Fagan had 18 and 9 last time these two met in round 4. Brazel skipped past fine in the corner. Fagan for 3. Swain with eyes down the floor. 2-man game with Nick Spadden now. Nicholson hesitated. Great dive.
Great decision there from Loz. She really took her time, was poised and made the right decision getting that great bounce pass to McSpadden.
That's a 9-0 scoring run for the Sydney Flames. Timeout on the floor. 2 minutes remaining here in this first quarter. An important addition, Nicholson back into the side after missing last week against Townsville. Opens her account with 2 assists here.
She's so dangerous on the pick and roll. I'd love to see them continue to use that in their offense and be able to get her coming off that. She just makes the right decision every time, and she's got that deadly mid-range shot, so she has to be guarded in there when she's coming off the pick and roll.
Renee Garlop and the Flames are really hoping to look after the basketball today. That was one of the keys. They've done so far.
Yeah, that's definitely been a big focus of the week, taking care of the ball and limiting our turnovers and just kind of coming up with a bit of a strategy of how we're going to do that. And I think the girls have responded this week throughout that. Like you said, the second half against Townsville last week, hopefully we can pick up with that grittiness and keep fighting like that today.
They were able to come away with the final quarter in that one against the Townsville Fire. Real positive for the Flames, and so far, just the one turnover for them. And looking after the basketball.
And that's great. That's what you want to see when you go from one game not doing something so well. How do you respond? And so far, so good for the Flames, and they'll want to continue this for the next 3 quarters, because that will be something that can help them keep this lead.
Inside the painted area, Talbot breaks the drought for the Lightning. Joe Healy was in the Flames huddle.
This is exactly how they wanted to start, to get out to a strong first quarter, control the intensity and the tempo of the game. Renee Garlop really happy with their spacing and ball movement. She wants them to keep fighting, keep their hands up defensively and finish off this quarter.
Thanks, Joe. 90 seconds remaining in this first quarter. In with Froling, baseline jumper. Another chance for Swain. He's come out with some confidence. Another great look. Second treble goes.
And you just cannot go under Swain on pick and roll. She can shoot from the 4-point line. Her range is lethal.
Lockridge got rid of the defender. Front position, Fagan, and the foul call. Rolling in and McSpadden both there down low.
And that's the example, Becca, of Lockridge taking a great shot. That's her shot that she needs to take, and she's got rebounders in there in Fagan, who's going to go to the line now after that.
18 points per game for Fagan. Been one of the standout imports so far this season in the WNBL, Sanaya Fagan. In a season with so much change already, she's been a constant. Swain around the pick. Thompson back out there, Froling the steal. Adelaide will regain it. Really a crucial game for both sides. 3 wins apiece. All of the bottom 4 are tied on 3 wins. The Caps, thanks to their Friday night victory, have got a 2-win buffer now with 5. So it's probably too early to say this is a must-win, but gee, it's not far off.
It's not. It's just insane how 1 or 2 games can change you from being 8th on the ladder to 4th on the ladder. But obviously Canberra, with that big win against the Flyers, puts them in really good stead right now. And if they keep winning with Zatina back there looking in great form, it can separate, you know, 5th to 8th on the ladder. So these are crucial wins early that teams need to get.
Fagan stepping down in transition. Up to a 7-point buffer. Swain is feeling it in this first quarter. Still tight. Emanopu. In 20 plays, 13 here after 1 at the Key Centre in the Harbour City. The Flames with a lead at home.
So today we're going to be giving away a fair few t-shirts. So get
Here in Sydney for a WNBL doubleheader on your Sunday afternoon. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Rachel Jarry here with you in commentary for the Flames and the Adelaide Lightning in Sydney with a 7-point advantage at quarter time. They've looked after the basketball, one of their key focuses coming into the contest. Just the 2 turnovers. And Joe Healy, his sideline, and was in the Adelaide Lightning huddle. Joe.
I was, and they'll be happy with the way they've started here. Aja Paramama just trying to keep the energy up and confidence up after that first quarter. I really like the attitude that she's come in with since taking over from the Lightning. She spoke after their last game to the Capitals about how it may not happen overnight, but the goal is to keep stacking days and building habits. She admitted some of their habits right now aren't particularly good, but it's about stacking days, as I said, and staying consistent.
Thanks, Joe. It's Rabadi involved from 3. Brings it back to a 2-point ball game.
Coach Aja will be very impressed with the Lightning girls, how they've responded after that first quarter.
It was an 11-0 run for the Flames in that first quarter that saw them open up the lead. Adelaide right back here. Rockridge, screen from Rabadi, opened up the shot. And Thompson exploring inside. Defensive foul. Steph Talbot, 2 blocks in that first quarter. Rachel really came out with some aggression and intensity, which we saw earlier in the season in that 32-point outburst against Geelong.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, after that game, she said she came into that game with the mindset of being a bit selfish, but you know, really, when she plays like that, it's unselfish because it's what her team needs. They need an aggressive Steph Talbot in a scoring mindset because not only is she such a great scorer, but she's able then to bring in so many other players into the game.
Yeah, she certainly is. Sitting in the top 5 for assists per game as well, Talbot. Here she is. Screen from Strawbridge. Brazel drew 2 defenders and found the cut. Great room service down low to Erin Bowman. And still forward, plus interest.
What a move, coming off the pick and roll. Nice little inside-out dribble and a tough finish at the rim.
And she's so capable of that. I'd love to see her continue to try and be aggressive and be that scorer for them because we know she can get in there. She is capable of doing that, and that's something that they really need.
And strong on the 3 throw. Thompson. Adelaide see it off. Here's Talbot, initiating offense for Adelaide. 6-point buffer for Sydney. Strawbridge cans the 3. And 2.5 gone in the second here. Back with Nicholson. Adelaide plugging things up at the moment. And forward again, Strawbridge in the O-Trans. They are back within 1, the Lightning. Timeout here. The Flames opting to take some air out of it here. It's 26-25 favouring the Flames. 6'4" Unique Thompson, 6'4" Shanice Swain to lead the way for the Flames. And it's an even spread of scorers. 7 different players have hit the tally already for the Lightning. Steph Talbot leads the way with 6. It's a 9-0 scoring run for the Lightning to get themselves back into it.
It's just a great reaction coming from the first quarter where things weren't going their way, they weren't hitting their shots, to now you come out and you force Renee Garlop to call a timeout to speak about some things that now they need to change. But again, we saw there how much attention Talbot can bring, and she's either scoring for herself or she really finds her teammates open, and that's why she's 5th in the league for assists right now. So it's been great to see Adelaide just find their rhythm.
One-point ball game here. Adelaide with a 9-0 run to get themselves back into it here in Sydney. Both sides searching for their 4th victory of the season. And the Lightning to apply some full-court pressure out of the timeout. Nicholson and Talbot, 2 Opal stars. Nicholson still assessing. 6 seconds to work with. Thompson to assist. Fagan switches onto the ball. Great set from the Lightning. They get the shot clock horn to expire. And Joe Healy was listening in to the huddle. Joe.
I was, Aja Paramama, as you can imagine, really happy with the way that the Lightning have responded in this quarter, but now she wants them to maintain it. Be aggressive, keep attacking the paint, push the pace in transition and really get a jump on the Flames here.
Thanks, Joe. Fagan at the elbow. Without Jasmine Fijo today due to illness. Key piece off the bench as Fagan draws the foul.
You can tell that matchup, they're both taking personal. Whenever they're one-on-one in the paint, you can tell the other one wants to beat the other one on that play. On defense as well, they're giving just the same reaction and hustle, and a great key matchup for today's game.
Well, if you're looking to get down to a game and rep your favourite player or team, make sure you head to the WNBLstore.com.au to check out this season's full range of club merch and jerseys and apparel. WNBLstore.com.au. The Adelaide Lightning take the lead. First time since the opening moments. Thompson. Nicholson was open momentarily. Strawbridge rushing out there. Just off kilter that time, trying to find Can. Nicholson saying it was a deflection.
It did look like a deflection from where we're observing, but, you know, tough call. But the Adelaide Lightning have really upped their pressure. They're getting deflections. They're just making it a little bit harder for Sydney, and they're getting some great switches, which is just making them have to think a little bit more.
Talbot draws a bevy of defenders. It sees Fagan open.
That was just served up on a platter by Steph Talbot. Great pass.
Can Emanopu now in the corner. Nicholson sticks it. Trading threes here, these two. Russell wants the screen. Single numbers now for Adelaide. Talbot's been everywhere. That's another great find. Bowman tied under the board. And 2 at the spot to come.
And the Lightning are moving really well off the ball. Their off-ball cuts and actions are just really impressive, but we see here on the Amy replay, like you said, served up on a platter, and Fagan being able to hit that 3-point shot. And let's be real, that's probably going to be the easiest 3-point shot Loz Nicholson will see all day.
Absolutely. Teams are just wearing Loz like a glove, and she's copying the best defender, the biggest scout every week. And we continue to say it, her team needs to continue to try and help her and get her open.
Another one to come here as they break early. And Bowman, NBL 1 North in the previous season, injury replacement in the import slot. And has a pre-existing relationship as well, Rachel, with the coach, Aja Paramama.
Yeah, we were having a look. So Aja runs a sports basketball academy, sports mindset. And Erin's one of their trainers, I believe. So they do have that relationship, and which is great, you know, coming in as a player at this point of the season and a coach. It's great to have a familiar face out there and someone who knows, I guess, your coaching philosophies and everything like that. Super important.
It's got to make settling in much easier. Fagan. Second quarter has belonged to Adelaide here. They continue to move the basketball nicely. Talbot back to the line. 9 assists as a team for Adelaide and counting.
And again, it's just the cutting and the movement that is so good by the Lightning. And like you said, Liam, they're sharing the ball. They're not over-dribbling it. They're finding their players at the right moments, and they're getting the right shots.
Steph Talbot's been at the head of that with 4 dimes. First miss from the line this afternoon. No burgers yet. Rabadi will check back in, as will Caitlin Martin for Sydney. Shanice Swain, coming off the bench today, appears to be on a minutes restriction after that knock last week late against the Fire, but she has been hot to start this one, and she's 3 of 3.
Not on a shot restriction, that's for sure. She's going to get them up when she's out there, and why wouldn't you? She's shooting. She started off shooting great today.
Connected 3 times from distance. Shanice Swain, 3 of 6 rather. Gets him back within 1. Swain attacking Fagan. Finds the cut of Martin. Here's the imposing presence of Fagan. Nicholson came across, able to peel it clean.
What a great read from Nicholson. She's just a great two-way player, can do it at both ends of the floor.
McSpadden inside, that is a great look. Well drawn up for Sydney. 2014 favouring the Lightning in this second quarter. Rockridge, snake dribble through. Lost it. Agnes Eminobu. 2-on-2 situation. This is going up. Shanice Swain can't connect for number 4. And that is a heads-up play from McSpadden.
I just love the energy that McSpadden brings whenever she's on the floor. She plays her role so well. She is one of the best screens as a 4-5 man in the league. She is always hitting those offensive players so hard. She goes after loose balls, she rebounds, and she just does whatever her team needs to do. But again, you see how excited that got the Sydney Flames bench.
Nicholson. Late shot clock. Strong D from Brazel. Stepped out of bounds. Three and a half remaining in this first half. Here's Talbot. Fayono out there with Maddie Freer off the pipe. One rebound favour the Lightning. Fresh 14 for the visitors. Fayono denied. Lara McSpadden comes up with it and draws the foul.
One more time for the defense from Lara McSpadden.
Great play from McSpadden. And the crowd loving it here at the Key Centre. Carla Pittman checks in for her first opportunity. Pair of North Bears products out of the NBL 1 East, playing under Renee Garlop, combining. The steal, though, flipped out to Talbot. Uses her length, up over 2.
She made that look easy, but that was a tough shot.
Nicholson. Rolling top of the arc. What to like for Adelaide fans here in this second quarter. Swain has fired as well for the Flames. Talbot, great outlet pass. Tofayono passed it up. Lockridge dancing. Has Martin with a hostage dribble.
I'd like to see Sydney get it through hands on this possession. The last two, they've had a quick three-point shot. They need to try and run some offense. Well, it's not going to happen on this one. Offensive foul, looks like.
Moving screen. 14th foul of the quarter. As Thompson checks back in. Maddie Freer a inbound. One of two free assisters playing for the Lightning this season. Jordan as well on the roster in WNBL26. Her mother, a championship player for the Lightning back in the 90s. Normally connection here. Here's Fagan. Nicholson came to double. Draws three defenders. Opens up the baseline, Jay. Inside with Thompson. Spots a mismatch that she likes.
That's much better offense from Sydney. Saw the mismatch down low. Great strong finish from Thompson there.
Naya Fagan with 9 so far in the game. Lockridge is the 2 so far. And she gets the teardrop to fall. 2 of 9 from the field for Dallas. Backed out with Swain. Attacks Bowman, who got the hand in clean. 2-on-1 down the floor. And Lockridge waltzes in with the open canvas. Timeout. It has been all Adelaide here in this second quarter. 28-16 so far. In the 26 seconds remaining, they take a 2-possession lead.
And that's a big momentum play heading into this half. Like you said, Rach, they've really lifted their defensive intensity. They're getting deflection, steals. And Adelaide are a team that looks so good when they run in offensive transition.
They certainly do. Cleaned up the turnovers in this quarter as well.
I do like the timeout, though, from Renee Garlop, sorry. Going back to her maiden name, but Renee Garlop, because, you know, there's 26 seconds here. Sydney want to get one good shot off to try and end this half on a positive as well, and then they can take that momentum going into the halftime break. So great opportunity to draw up something that they've probably been practicing at training and see if they can get a great shot.
Both these sides have a tough next 4 coming up, and that is going to test the Sydney Flames back-to-back against the Fire.
Ooh, yeah, that's a tough road ahead, but, you know, they've just got to try and get on a roll, and anything's possible. Coming up against Townsville again twice in a row is probably the hardest thing to do in the WNBL at this point.
That's tough for anyone.
Yeah, exactly right.
They should be able to face them with a stronger lineup than last weekend when they were riddled with injuries. Swain's back out there looking fit and firing. Shot clock 2 seconds ahead of the game clock. Thompson handed back. Fagan in front, flips over to Can and ran out of real estate. Square 6 seconds to work with.
And I'm not sure that's exactly what Renee Garlop would have drawn up on the whiteboard, but now Adelaide have 6 seconds to draw something out. That's enough time to get a good shot. and again, just keep building that momentum leading into this halftime break.
Absolutely, with one timeout remaining, they'll take that opportunity.
Who do you think the ball will go to on this possession range?
Well, look, I think they'll try and get Dallas going downhill and potentially some movement off the ball to see what opens up. But, you know, or one of those big back screens from Fagan, see how that goes up the court.
Flames will go with Caitlin Martin and Carla Pittman joining the starters. Saja Paramamart draw something up for Adelaide.
But if I was Sydney, I'd probably sit back at the half-court line and not let them get any easy run-ons. Try and keep them in front of you, slow them down.
Or you throw them off and you go into a zone.
Yeah, well, that's dangerous. You might give up an easy three.
Remember when we would do that in those old days at training range?
Yeah, anything to be in a zone.
Yeah.
Talbot, 2 seconds, all the way down the floor, and Fagan up and in time. 3 seconds to run as she hit the timeline and races in for 2. What a quarter for the Lightning.
And on the contrary, that is exactly what Coach Aja would have drawn up. But we got Steph Talbot going downhill, and hasn't she been amazing, finding her teammates with 5 assists already tonight.
That's 30 points in the period for Adelaide.
Wow.
Feeling it as they head to the locker room.
Well, they were shooting in the low 20% in the first quarter, and now they've shot up over, 46%. So just a massive second quarter. And we said in the first quarter they were getting the right shots. We knew they were going to drop.
Steph Talbot is leading the way in triple-double watch, 9, 7, and 5. And here she is with Joe.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Steph, bit of a slow start for you guys, but an awesome response in that second quarter. What changed for you?
Yeah, I think we didn't come out how we wanted to. We let them get what they want a little bit, especially in the pick and roll, and we made some adjustments. Our effort lifted, and we really did a lot better in the second quarter.
Still relatively tight, a big second half coming up. What do you want to adjust and try and push away for this to win?
Yeah, I think they're going to make their adjustments now, so we got to be ready for that. We got to look after the ball. We got to dominate the paint a little bit. Get the rebounds, overboards, finish in the paint, not let them get so many paint points.
Good luck for the rest of it.
Thank you.
Great finish to the half there for Steph Talbot, combining with Sanaya Fagan right on the buzzer. She's got 11 and 6 to go with 3 dimes. Sanaya Fagan here. It's a 7-point advantage to the Lightning, 43-36 at the key set.
That's just our style.
43-36 here, favouring the Adelaide Lightning at halftime. A halftime break. An update here. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Rachel Jarry here to run it through with you. And the Lightning rolled off 30 points in the period to take a 7-point advantage at the halftime break. 43-36, and this is how it all stacks up. 13 assists. They cleaned up the turnover column and started hitting from three as well. And Sanaya Fagan and Steph Talbot, two of their stars, were leading the way there.
They sure were, and it's looking pretty even right now, but those two right there were getting 2 feet in the paint, getting to the free throw line, and that's a little bit of a difference in the scoreboard right now. But Steph Talbot, triple-double watch, 11, 7 and 5. How impressive. And Fagan, she's just a monster when she gets the ball inside.
Let's have a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights here as the Sydney Flames got off to a nice start. They looked after the basketball early. The first quarter belonged to them, and Agnes Emanopu was inserted into the starting five today with Swain seemingly on that minutes restriction post a knee injury. She made an impact, Rachel.
Oh, she certainly did. She came in and hit that first three, and she was away from there. But, you know, I do like what Sydney are trying to do. They are trying to get players involved. They've had 7 scorers so far, which, you know, they haven't been able really to do all season. So just to be able to have those contributors has been really good. They had that intent coming in to that first quarter, and then but Adelaide really just amped up that pressure in the second quarter and were able to get some more stops and deflections and able to go down the other way.
And the Lightning just look so good when they get out and run back.
They really do. They definitely increase their defensive intensity, their aggressiveness in that second quarter, and then that allowed them to run into offensive transition. And they're an athletic young team. Their guards, their forwards and bigs can all run the floor really well. So they would love to do more of that in this second half.
One of the key matchups coming into today, thanks to Blackmore's Unique Thompson and Sanaya Fagan. Pretty even, but Sanaya has been terrific once again for Adelaide.
Yeah, she really has. You know, she's come out, she's hit some big shots, but 3 assists there and 6 rebounds. It's a pretty dominant all-round game as well. But, you know, we saw Unique Thompson. She took advantage of a couple of mismatches inside, and she is so poised in there and someone that Sydney need to continue to go to because she is so effective from close range.
Shanice Swain came off the bench to start it, but came in red hot. First touch went up and in for a 3-ball. She's got 3 triples so far in the first half. Here's a look at her forward shot chart and how she was able to get it done. Doesn't look like she's too hampered post that knock against Townsville.
She sure doesn't, and she's a big reason why the Flames can get going. She gets hot in patches. We see here already shooting the 3-ball at 50% so far this half. So when she comes in, look for Shanice Swain, get her the ball, get her going, and then that will also open up opportunities for Lauren Nicholson as she draws more attention.
3 of 7 from 3, and a couple weren't far away as well from falling to add to her tally for Shanice. They are a little bit undermanned in the backcourt today. No Izzy Morgan, who Beck we saw during the pre-game and in the huddle on crutches post that foot injury against the Fire.
Yeah, it's such a shame that she isn't out there because she was really making an impact off of the bench. We were loving what we were seeing from her and her game, the confidence she had, how she was playing in that point guard position. So it's so unfortunate that she is on crutches, but let's really hope that she's back soon and it's nothing too serious.
Agnes Emanopu, we heard from her in the pre-game. Here's a little more about her story, the Victorian playing her first season for the Flames. Agnes Emanopu swatted out of bounds.
Got back from college, finished up my 5th year at TCU in May. For the last 5 years, I've been in the US. I was at Stanford in California for 3 years, and then at TCU in Texas for 2 years. And it was an awesome experience. Won a national championship with Stanford my freshman year, went to 2 Final Fours, NCAA 4 times, and then this past year, my last year, we made the Elite 8 for TCU, the first time in women's or men's program history. So it's been a pretty awesome college career.
Emanopu the reverse.
They're going to see a hard worker. They're going to see someone who will literally do anything for their team to win. I'm the kind of player who, you know, like always doing the 1% things and wanting to get my team extra possessions. So Sydney can definitely, and the WNBL can definitely like look forward to that. As someone who wants to defend, I feel like I can guard 1 through 5, maybe a smaller 5, but yeah, I'm someone who I'm not gonna let like what would be like a huge matchup sort of make me not play the defense that I want to play. So I feel like just wanting to get out there and like compete against my opponent, and like no matter what the stats say, I'm gonna go out there and give 100%.
Zemanopu has been a real bright spot for the Flames tonight.
You back here for our next game at Key Center on December 20th. We'll take on the Townsville Fire. It is our last game before Christmas, and who knows, kids, there may even be a special visitor from up north. We'll see how it goes. And ladies and gentlemen, we want you to be a part of the Flames family. If you're not already, it is time to be one of our members. You got to do it now. Get your access to games, invites to member events, and discounts on merch, and be a part of the family. Be a member today for just $39. Mark your calendars, Flames fans. Our Pink Boots doubleheader, always an annual tradition that goes crazy, and kudos is coming up soon. It's on Sunday, the 25th of January, and we take on the Perth Lakes, who will include Chinese superstar Han Shu. It's followed by the Kings taking on the Adelaide 36ers. This year, $2 from every ticket purchase will be donated to the McGraw Foundation. So we want as many people there as possible. Pink Hoops doubleheader, Sunday, 25th of January. And what about these holiday camps from the Flames? Learn from the best at the Sydney Flames Girls School Holiday Camp. Join us on Thursday, January 22nd at Hoops Capital East for an amazing day of skills, drills, and fun with the Flames. Ashley Swain is going to be there, other elite athletes too. Scan the QR code on the big screen now to register and secure your spot. Flames Holiday Camps. And everybody get ready to get in here to quarter number 3. You're going to get a vibe check from me in a second, man. Time to fire up for quarter 3 and quarter 4. Good to see everybody back with their crazy hair here at Key Center.
Moments away from the second half, you're at the Key Centre in the Harbour City. The Adelaide Lightning away from home, a 7-point advantage at halftime, 43-36. Liam Ellis and Beck Cole and Rachel Jarry here with you in commentary. And Joe Healy is courtside here in Sydney. Joe.
Yeah, thanks, guys. One player that I'm going to keep an eye on for the rest of this one is Unique Thompson for the Flames. Now, she's averaging 14 and 8, but in the 2 games this season, she scored single digits. It was last week against Townsville, and the last time they played the Adelaide Lightning. She's got 8 points so far, 6 in the first and 2 in the second. I'd love to see her step up and have a bigger impact in this half against Adelaide's bigs.
Absolutely, 4 of 6 from the field. Unique Thompson, 8 and 2 so far, leading the way in the scoring column for the Flames. They're going to need more people to come along for the ride as well.
They sure will. Unique Thompson has been such a consistent player for the Flames, and they definitely need to go look at her inside more. But one player as well is Keely Froling right there, who I would love to see produce a little bit more on the scoreboard, Rach.
Yeah, we know how, great of an inside presence she can be, and she's got that great rip-through drive from that sort of elbow area, and I'd love to see her, like you said, get more involved, but we need, it needs to come out of the context of their offense, so she needs to be put in positions where she can score as well.
Adelaide lead the fast break points at halftime, 14-0, illustrating how they've really pushed the pace down the floor. Talbot, Lockridge been involved there. And it's Flames basketball to kick us off in the third. Michaela Can running point. Nicholson and Thompson fronting in the post. Early touch for her. The jump hook is good.
And exactly what we asked for. Get it to Unique inside the paint. But then the other players need to make sure they're also moving for her, so they're options as well.
Out with Lockridge. Rabadi protects it. Nervous moments can. Adelaide will regain the basketball. Just 4.9 to get a shot up. Lockridge has to go, turns, and the horn expires. Won't count. Rolling, ensuring the score bench got that.
Great start from Sydney, though. We saw, them get a great shot in Unique Thompson down one end, and then they came down, had a couple of deflections, a really great defensive possession.
Go, Flames, go.
Minopu. Top of the painted area, Thompson. Looking to feed her early. And diving on it down there. There's Taylor Brazel. Flames had an 11-0 run in the first quarter to open up the advantage. The Lightning had a 10-0 run in the second. Biggest lead for Sydney was 11 at one stage. Lockridge. Backcourt mate is Brazel. Talbot's on triple-double watch. Trying to feed Fagan. Good defense. And Minopu blows by two. Right at Fagan. Great save.
And hasn't she just provided a real spark in this third quarter? We heard at halftime, she's known for her defense. She wants to do whatever she can to get her team possessions, and she's doing just that with steals, and it's great to see her produce on the other end of the floor.
Thompson drew three defenders, now in rotation. Nicholson left. Flames 25% from three so far. Both coaches hoping for their first victory this afternoon as a WNBL head coach. Renee Garlop, Aja Paramamara, and Rachel, you've got a connection as well with Aja.
Yeah, Aja was, trained with us back when SEQ Stars was a thing, and she trained with us day in, day out, despite not having a contract. And I think we did get her in for one game at one point due to injury, but just such a great person and so smart. And, we've mentioned before, she's got her basketball training academy and sports mindset, and she really focuses on, athletes holistically, not just what they can do on the court, but she's really passionate about people being better people as well. Athletes being great people, being strong and physical, and not just, the skills on the court. She really works on the full athlete. So a great signing by Adelaide, and I think she's got a great coaching career ahead of her.
Absolutely. Great attributes for the role. Thompson back to the line. I think they've heard the call, Beck, that they've definitely been targeting her out of the halftime break, Sydney.
They sure have, and she's been a big impact. Again, she can go back to the basket moves, but she's also athletic. She can grip drive from that mid-range area. But if you can look to get her and Lauren Nicholson in some pick and roll actions, then it really makes the Adelaide Lightning decide, who do we defend in this action?
2.5 gone here in the third quarter. In with Talbot, doubleheader today in the WNBL. 6:30 tonight, Perth and Townsville. The second game. Brazel. And Lockridge draws the foul. Trying to stay in front, Michaela Can. Just the first personal for Can. She's held Lockridge fairly well here. 6 points, 1 assist in the first half.
She has, and, you know, this is, you know, one of those things as a young player like Lockridge is she'll go through stages where she's not scoring as well as she's used to, and being a point guard, you got to, as we see, a great charge there, but she's got to have that maturity to be that leader of the team, and there's so many other things she can contribute, especially as the point guard. Great read by Froling there to get across and take that charge.
Set in front of the charge circle. Sydney from the sideline. Nicholson. 7 in the first half for loss. Minopu exploding off the dribble. Froling comes up with a fresh 14. And Minopu again with intent. Nicholson can't blow by Rabati. 3 seconds, Froling has to heave. Long rebound faded Can. Now the referees found a foul call.
And those sorts of possessions are really going to help Flames chip away and try get back this lead. They've got 10 offensive rebounds, so they're really going after it. And Emma Nopu, she is just amazing. Whether or not she's getting the rebound, she might tip it to another teammate. And second chance points are so good and crucial at this time of the game.
Lightning searching for their second bucket here in the third quarter. Nicholson inside, Eminopu, great look for 3. Whistle first in the backcourt. Both sides have hit 4 trays so far in this one.
And it's certainly getting physical out there. You can see real battles in matchups at, you know, all positions on the floor, and starting to be a little bit of niggle, a little bit of physicality, which we love to see.
Froling's got 3, as does Dallas Lockridge.
Dallas will want to make sure that she can stay in the game with Fijo not being in the lineup today. There isn't really another backup point guard that can do her duties. So they're lucky they have the likes of Steph Talbot, who's so versatile, Brazel, who can step into it. But they definitely want to keep Dallas out on the floor.
Yeah, it's a great call. They will need her down the stretch here. Here is Talbot. Bottom on the 3. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists for Steph Talbot to go with 2 blocks. Nick Spadden. Some great minutes in that second quarter. 24 rebounds apiece in this one. Inside with Fagan, McSpadden walling up. Nicholson lost Brazel behind the back and drains it with a midi.
Put that on the highlight reel.
That was pretty.
Balanced and composed from Nicholson. Bowman, inside catch. And can off the deck. 2 to come at the line. Nicholson on the Amy replay. Crossed into a jumper. Great use of balance in the handle. Last played in New Zealand and for Sunshine Coast in the NBL1 North. Erin Bowman averaged 22, 10 and 6 in that conference. And make sure it's just a month away now. 2 platinum tickets to Hoopfest are up for grabs. Scan the QR code on screen now to enter. Return flights for 2 nights at the Oaks Perth Hotel, plus $500 to spend at the Oak and Vine. Don't miss your shot. Scan now to enter. And it's going to be a great weekend. The WNBL and the NBL all at RAC Arena. Nicholson converts from 3. It's the Flames back within 2 possessions here. In the hands of Strawbridge. Nicholson picked up her dribble. First opportunity for Swain in the second half. Inside Fagan, great find. Talbot adds another.
And again, the Lightning are just really sharing the ball so well. That's their 16th team assist tonight.
Still early in the ball game as well. That's a great number, Talbot. Rising up to her 10th rebound to go with 6 times. Inside Bowman, hoop and harm.
That's the offensive transition we were speaking about earlier, Rach. The Lightning look so good when they get out and run.
Talbot will add another assist.
Yeah, we'll just have to keep an eye on that triple-double watch. But yeah, Erin Bowman has been really impressive the last couple of games. She's, you know, she does the little things. She really hustles at both ends of the floor, and it's nice to see her get rewarded on the last few possessions with some buckets.
Bowman good on the continuation. Game high, 9-point lead for Adelaide. 20-point turnaround since the early stages of that second quarter. Swain, great feed. McSpadden not quite. Talbot, eyes down the floor. Reset with 11 seconds. Tofaiono kicked out. Now Steph for 3, just short. Rushing the boards though, Ella Tofaiono. In the bonus the rest of the way here in the third.
And Adelaide come in as the worst rebounding team in the league. So, you know, being able to crush those offensive boards and pull in the defensive rebounds, that's something that they can easily improve. It just takes really effort. There's not as much skill to it. It's just, it's more of an effort thing, and being able to, you know, back up play after play and really want those rebounds. So great to see Tofaiono there going into those boards.
Bowman comes up with another on the O-glass. And there's Eminopu, hands to it, inside. Tofaiono, 2 more. Second chance points for the Lightning. Double-digit lead. There it is. There's that effort and hustle. And it is free cheeseburgers here, thanks to Hungry Jack's W Spinner. The code on screen. Claim via the WNBL app now.
It's Sunday. It's a treat day for me, Rach.
Hey, we got a big break in between games today, so plenty of time for burgers.
Wouldn't mind a cheeky cheeseburger.
2:53 remaining in the third. Renee Garlop chatting to her side. They need a boost here, the Flames.
This is really, sorry Liam, this is really where they do have to dig in. You know, the game feels like it's really swung the momentum Adelaide's way and it could get away from them, but you know, we know they've had now 8 days, I think, between their last game. They've had some time with Renee Garlop. They'll be able to hopefully bring in some things to execute and try and get back into this one.
Carla Pittman, the unsportsmanlike against Hofeono. 2 of 2. Sideline possession to boot. With Eminobu, Swain. Gradually assignment. Over to Shanice. Great find. Cutting was Carla Pittman.
Just a great read by Pittman. Swain had to pick up her dribble. She had nowhere to go, and Pittman just read the play beautifully.
Brazel, 2 feet in the keyway. Bowman, baseline cut, draws the foul. Eminopu's seconds. Some good minutes here from Erin Bowman. 9 points, 2 steals in 12 minutes of action.
She's always moving. She's always moving off the ball at both ends of the floor, and that makes someone really hard to guard when you're always having to worry about or watch where they are, and then you're also trying to help the ball and try and be the best help defender. So she's done a great job cutting in and being able to get to the basket.
Get that cushion back out to 10. Swain. Up rolling there. Nicholson now set for 3 in the corner. More time to work with for Sydney. Shanice spotted Fagan in front, high off the glass. Froling tipped it out. Has to go though, they didn't get the reset. And as the horn expires, Lightning with the rip and go.
If Sydney can just get some defensive stops, try get 3 stops in a row and chip away and keep this at a single digit going into the 4th quarter, they're still with a chance, but Dallas Lockridge, she's just so crafty around the rim.
Crafty indeed, falling away. Got it to go, here's Nicholson. Falling front iron. Which was first to it. Sydney will have it here for another chance. Back we're headed the other way. Substitutions inserted from Renee Garlop. Bonus 3 throws. First trip to the line tonight for Dallas. And they're 13 of 15 from this spot, Adelaide.
What do you reckon, Beck? Breakout player of the year, Dallas?
Yep, calling it right now. She was up for breakout player as well last season, but Abby Ellis got that award. She thoroughly deserved that, but she's done it again, Dal, and I think it's been great just to see her grow in this new role in her new team.
Well, I'd love to get some more confirmation of the rules, but my understanding is Ball Ace is still eligible for that award as well, and she has won it before, I believe,
tough.
though, so
yeah.
I don't know.
Can you break out and then break out again?
Well, the way she's playing,
Yes, you can.
Ruby Perkins out there for her first opportunity. And the downtown hit. Needed for Sydney. Fagan open, lands it. Fires right back. Putting together a huge game as well alongside Talbot.
She's also a triple-double watch.
Certainly is with the 5 assists. Nicholson moving screen. Goes against Thompson. It's number 3 for her. $15 to work with. They won the second quarter by 14. They lead the third by 7. Really solid showing from Adelaide here. Talbot in for this final possession. Lockridge dancing all alone. Outstretched arm. That is a tough finish from Dallas.
That's just some nice handles. Good finish inside. She's just so crafty. Gives her a little shimmy there. Tough little floater game.
Able to protect the basketball with the offhands. And a chance for an extra plus the foul. Great third quarter for Lockridge. 4 to work with. Nicholson. Much needed here. Deep 3 ball. And it's 17 points the deficit. Adelaide 70 lead the Sydney Flames here 53 at the Key Centre. Flames fans enjoying round 9 WNBL action at the Key Centre. Their Sydney side, though, trail 53-70, and it's been a fantastic couple of quarters for the Adelaide Lightning. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole and Rachel Jarry with you in commentary. And Rachel, after they struggled early shooting the basketball, now 52% from the field, Adelaide.
Yeah, and 60% from that 2-point range. It just goes to show the quality of shots they're getting and now, you know, making them and being fantastically led by Steph Talbot. 3 assists away from a triple-double.
Samaya Fagan as well is on triple-double watch also. Joe Healy was listening in to Renee Garlipp's huddle.
I was at three-quarter time. She said all this requires is a few stops at the defensive end. Let's stay disciplined. time is on our side. I think it's also important to note they obviously lost to Townsville by 33 points last week. They had a solid second half, though. They only lost it by 4 points, and they ended up winning the fourth quarter. So with shots like that from Lauren Nicholson, this is not over yet.
Absolutely, back to 14. Thanks, Joe. 70 plays 56 here as Aja Palmer Amar makes sure she'll take some air out of this run. It's a 14-point deficit. Early timeout there pulled from the Lightning.
Yeah, but I do like that timeout. You know, Aja's seen a couple of plays she didn't quite like, and I like her trying to stop that momentum early, try and come out, get a good play here, and lock down defensively. You've got this great lead. You don't want to wait till it gets to, you know, a single-digit lead and then call the timeout. I think that's a great timeout from Aja.
And you definitely don't want the likes of Loz Nicholson getting hot.
Certainly not. We know exactly how damaging she is.
Up to 15 now, Nicholson. We've seen her finish games strongly this season earlier against Geelong in OT. Absolutely on fire in the fourth and in the free basketball. Early timeout there for the Adelaide Lightning off the back of Lauren Nicholson's corner three to start things off for the Flames the right way. Aja Palmer Amar just wanting to regain control. And Sanaya Fagan. 18-8-5 for her. Lockridge had a great third quarter, dancing on Perkins and swaying the help defense. Trying to feed McSpadden, great hands. Talbot got there. Adelaide combining, and Fagan waltzing in for two more.
And again, when they get stops, they just look so good in O-Trans.
Perkins. Really away in transition again. The Adelaide Lightning are 19-2 for fast break points. As Joe mentioned, they did finish strongly against the Fire, especially in that fourth quarter. They lost it there, though. Razzle backed out. Screen provided for Lockridge. Fagan, bingo!
She is having an absolute cracker of a game. Doing it inside, doing it outside. She's been great on defense. She is just such a young star that is definitely going to grow as this season goes on. And when she heads back to the WNBA, her game's going to be even better.
Drop step, McSpadden, second chance. Good off the window.
It just changes your whole team when you have a centre like that who can shoot so consistently from the three-point line. We know, you know, basketball has changed a lot and a lot of our bigs can shoot from there, but she's just so damaging and you can't leave her open. It really opens up the game for the rest of her team.
And fouled off the rebounds. Sanaya Fagan on the Amy replay. The third triple of the night, 3 of 5. Leading all scorers here at the Key Centre with 23. Steph Talbot as well, triple-double watch. 12 and 10, 7 assists to her name. Kicked out. And Swain for Sydney. 3-ball number 4 for her. Back to 14. Talbot deep, bullseye. Connects from 3. %42 from beyond the arc for Adelaide. Talbot draws the foul this time.
And on that last possession, Adelaide were just able to move the ball without any disruption. There was, you know, no deflection. There was no need to do any pass fakes. There was no hands in the way from Sydney. So it's really like a training drill at that point where you're going pass, pass, extra pass, shot. So Sydney need to try and focus on keeping their pressure up, trying to make it hard for Adelaide to move the ball.
That's 4 personals for Unique Thompson. Inside, Fagan, foot on the line. And an offensive foul to call.
Yeah, she got that hook around on that arm. We don't see that called too often, but, you know, when you're defending and they call that, you're pretty happy. You're asking for it all game, and they finally get it.
All right, Sydney, thank you. All 2,249 of you for coming out for a Sunday.
Lightning in a great position. Both coaches searching for their first win as a head coach in the WNBL. Nicholson launching in and won't get the friendly roll that time. Talbot, bullet pass ahead forward, finding Lockridge. Great movement from Adelaide. They've got 22 team assists, can't add to it there. Swain Hagman finishes. Been a good shift so far for Shanice. 18 minutes of action tonight, and Talbot on the cut. Swain downhill, a sense of urgency about the Flames. Lockridge, Euro stepping through. Whistle against Nicholson. They've been great from the line tonight, the Lightning, 89%. Trying to break their skid, Adelaide. And look on their way. 3-game losing streak. Lockridge has grown as the game has worn on. Swain takes a seat. Here's Nicholson. Kicked out, Froling. And Rabati off the deck. Nice move for Froling. Bowman's had some great moments off the bench, and Anopu in there to cut it off. Next game for Adelaide will be a test. Friday against the Bendigo Spirit at Red Energy Arena. That will really find out where they're at. The Spirit on a 7-game win streak.
They've been so impressive, the Spirit. Tolo announces her pregnancy. That's a big inside presence, a big leader who's now off the floor for the rest of the season. And then you have the likes of Liv Pollard, Kelsey Reese, who have just stepped up, Georgia Booth, and they've had impressive team wins.
They sure have. They just keep finding a way to get it done, Bendigo. Sydney's next outing at home here at the Key Centre against the Fire on Saturday afternoon. 4 seconds for Froling. Not a shot away, but Fagan controls. It's been a great game for her.
Oh, it has. As we see, a great drive there from Bowman, who is another player that's had a great game. She's been rewarded for her hard work and being able to contribute on the scoreboard.
Lockridge rips it away. Back from Bowman, and she'll go to the line.
And Flames, they look a little bit tired now.
Yeah.
They're turning the ball over, creating easy offense for the Adelaide Lightning. And then on defense, it just looks like there's not as much communication on the floor. intent, effort, and that's what they need right now. They want to chip away.
Download the free WNBL app to catch every score, story and stat. It's the fastest way to stay courtside with the league this season. Scan the QR code on screen now to download it to your device. Dallas 6 of 7 now from the line tonight. And a great offensive showing for the Lightning. 85 on the board, above 50% from the field, 40% from three. Thompson draws contact.
The foul will be on the Lightning's number 20.
I've been impressed tonight with Fagan's defense. She's stayed out of foul trouble all game, and you know but despite that, she's played some good defense, not only inside, but she's had to switch out onto guards a lot and really tried to keep them in front of her and done a great job. So, you know, her team needs her to be on the floor, so that foul discipline is super important moving forward for the Adelaide Lightning.
Our third biggest scoring tally of the season. Adelaide as Thompson gets them to go. Fagan. To Strawbridge. Tight defense there from Can, and an offensive foul against Lockridge.
That was great on-ball defense from McCann. She was just in the grill of Dallas, making her work so hard, and then she got rewarded as Dallas gets an offensive foul. But just great ball pressure.
Maddie Norris out there for her first minutes for the Flames. Nicholson, back cut on the low block. Brazel. Thompson got a fingertip to it. Can still advancing on Lockridge. Dallas inside the arc this time and hits.
Adelaide Lightning are playing just such a great brand of basketball in today's game, and Laura Nicholson, she's doing everything she can to keep her team in the game. But I have to give a shout out to Strawbridge and Bowman, who are both at 100% in shooting right now.
You don't mind, yeah.
I don't want to be the commentator's curse, but that is impressive if they can do that for the whole game. Has that ever happened before?
I'm sure. I don't know. We'll have to look it up, Beck. But just quietly, Dallas Lockridge is now up to 20 points, and we know she started the game a bit quiet, but she's come out and really put her mark on this second half, and just a mature performance for her to bring herself into the game.
Has she ever 20 points now in the game after, as you said, it was a quiet start. The numbers continue to grow. 2:36 remaining, timeout. And the Lightning 89-72. Flames in arrears here.
And this could be a huge win for Adelaide. If they get this bumps them up to 5th on the ladder and only 1 win away from 4th. So it's just, it's crazy at the moment how these wins mean a lot more than maybe they might do this far in the season, but it's still anyone's race right now for that 4th spot. But again, Canberra getting that win over Flyers really did some damage and did put them 2 wins ahead of the rest of the table.
And they've got the tools as well to go there. Keep pace with the Caps in 4th. They can do some damage. Fagan, Lockridge, Talbot. There's plenty of talent across the roster. Joe Healy was listening in to the Adelaide Lightning. Joe.
Yeah, just following on from what you guys were saying, the Lightning obviously have a pretty cushy lead right now with 2.5 minutes to go in this one. But Aja was all about what they're doing from here. She was running the girls through their sets. Obviously, their next game is a tough one. They want that 4th spot on the ladder, so they're not resting on their laurels here.
Thanks, Joe. Certainly is going to be tough against the Spirit entrenched inside the top 2. Norris. And Manopu, that burst of energy, attacking hard, putting it on the deck, and a walk call, says the referee. This really did shape us. A must-win, you'd think, to stay in touch with the Final 4. Hold on, they'll move to 4 and 7. Caps at 5 and 6. Right in calculation still.
And just to go on from what you said, Beck, it's these games against the other teams that are fighting for that, coming from the bottom of the ladder up. It's those games that almost like double wins. So, you know, Adelaide take their head-to-head with Sydney now. So as long as they stay in front, they're always going to finish above Sydney. And then they've got to try and move on. If they can snag a win against Bendigo, then, you know, they'll have their own little win streak going, as the Canberra girls were saying the other night. And, you know, then they're able to try and get a few wins back-to-back and claw their way back into that top 4.
And like you said, the head-to-heads are going to be even more important right now.
Yeah, it's so close. It very well could come down to a head-to-head at season's end. Nicholson, as she always does, has gotten stronger down the stretch, playing it right out. 22 is her tally. Lockridge, who had 5 at halftime. 15 in the second half.
And we see Sydney Flames in a 2-3 zone, just trying to junk it up, try and get some stops, force the Lightning into 3 points and hopefully, 3-point attempts, and hoping they miss it so they can go down the other end.
Nicholson retrieved it back. A minute remains here at the Harbour City. Great help deep. Brazel snatched it away. Ruby Porter out there for the Lightning. Lockridge, Manopu in front of her. Such an asset defensively for Renee Garlop. Oh, all alone. Great find, and Porter hits the scorer's column. Hadn't established herself in the front court. Adelaide basketball. The Flames currently leading this 4th period 22-21. A small victory for them. Did have an 11-point lead early in that second quarter. Adelaide have controlled since. Lockridge dancing. And adds 3 more. What a ball game for Dallas. Miller advancing, and Manopu not quite. And that'll do it. It's a 19-point victory for the Adelaide Lightning. And for the first time, Aja Palmer-Mamar is a victorious WNBL coach. A great story to her. As the Lightning keep pace with the top 4 here. An important victory, their 4th of the season.
They've been building towards this the last couple of games. You know, they have been on the improve, and we know how dangerous their big 3 are, and they all had stellar games tonight and really brought their teammates along with them. So, you know, hats off to Aja for her first win, and, you know, just like you said, Beck, just a great style of basketball to watch, and they can do some damage, I think, going forward.
Absolutely, and this test against the Spirit coming up next week is a chance to do just that. Spirit with a 7-game win streak. And Adelaide will come in, coming off the winners column as well. 94 points on the board, their second highest tally of the season and their highest in regulation. 99 coming in OT over the Geelong Venom. And Steph Talbot was outstanding, especially when the game was up for grabs. Here she is with Joe.
She certainly was, Steph. We're on triple-double watch, 17, 11 and 7. How pleased are you with that performance?
Yeah, that was a great effort from the team. I think a few lapses, but besides that, we put 4 quarters of basketball together, and it was our 3rd game with Aja, and we're starting to get a bit of a flow with the new system, and it felt great.
First win under her as well. What does it mean to the group to be able to produce a performance like that at this time in the season?
Yeah, it's unreal. I think new coach, we got to hit the ground running. We're a little bit behind, so it feels really good to put a good win on the floor, and we can move forward from there.
The girls are waiting for you. Go and celebrate.
Thank you.
Great game from Steph Talbot, 17, 11 and 7. And she was a force, as she always is defensively as well.
She really was. Even though Adelaide had a tough first quarter, she was really the one that still brought the energy. She was doing it inside, as we see there. She's so strong as a taller guard. She was hitting outside shots, but some of her passes were absolutely divine in this game. But again, just a leader for the Lightning who leads by example and the others follow.
Spoke of the new system under coach Arjapara and Mamar. What are those changes that you can both see in terms of how they've adjusted?
Well, I think, you know, what's clear is how quick they're pushing the break, and they're going into their fast break offense with absolute reckless abandon. That is what they want. And, you know, they're going through Steph, they're going through Dallas, and just really leaning into their stars who are able to, you know, like we said, score, but also find their open players.
It was a big afternoon as well for Sanaya Fagan, who had 23 and 10. She's there with Joe.
Yeah, dominant performance for Sanaya. Sanaya, what changed for you guys after halftime? You obviously had a narrow lead, but you guys really put your foot down and took control after that.
We're used to like taking our foot off the gas the second half, so we just told each other to go out there and play the same way we was playing in the beginning.
Taylor told me before the game that you guys have been really putting in the work in practice. She said it feels like you're building something special. Does it feel to you like it's clicking now?
Yes, ma'am. I mean, I love it. We love it, and that's all that matters.
A tough one on Friday. You've got Bendigo. Is that going to be the real test of where you're at?
Yeah, it is. I mean, but we're ready. I mean, we take it day by day, game by game, so we'll prepare for them and we'll be ready.
Look forward to it. Good luck again.
Thank you so much.
And they'll come in with some confidence off the back of this performance. Sanaya Fagan, another great game for her. Sitting inside the top 10 in scoring in the league. And again, running the floor as they did so effectively. Fast break points tonight, 26-7, favouring the Lightning.
That is a huge difference in a game of basketball, and that combined with, you know, the free throw count, which they had many more attempts than Sydney, that's, you know, a big reason why they were able to control the game so well. But Fagan is just so impressive. She's able to score from multiple positions. We know she's only young. She's just going to continue to get better. And yeah, you just look at that stat line. Very efficient and contributing in other ways as well with those 5 assists, which is super impressive.
Makes for a dynamic unit for the Lightning. Fagan at the 5, and they can all get quick off the mark and run the floor back.
They sure can, and I think it came down to their defense tonight. They were so impressive getting steals, deflections, and then Rach, like you said earlier, they are pushing the ball. But what's great, it can be anyone. It doesn't have to be Dallas. We saw the likes of Brazil, Talbot, even Fagan at times. So it's really fun to watch.
Stick around, we'll wrap it all up after this. The Adelaide Lightning back on the winners list to the tune of 19 points at the Key Centre. Post-game wrap in the WNBL, the Adelaide Lightning, a much-needed victory in the Harbour City, 94-75. Liam Ellis and Beck Cole and Rachel Jarry here to run it through with you. And the Lightning, 52% from the field. They were fantastic from quarter time onwards, really, I thought.
They really were, and it shows here they just moved the ball so well as the off-ball movement was so impressive. 25 assists. You have to be happy with that, especially Coach Aja. But just moving the ball, they played with freedom. And like you said, Liam, they were getting the right shots with their shooting percentage so high.
And I like that they were able to win the rebounding count. That's something that, you know, has been a bit of a weakness for them this season. And if they're able to get those defensive rebounds, that means they're able to generate their offensive transition as well.
Let's have a look at the second half highlights and then offensive transition. Well, it was fun to watch at times for the Lightning. They've got athletes who can get out and run back.
They sure do. They're an athletic young squad, and you have the likes of Melbourne, Fagan, Talbot, Brazil, Bowman, you name it. They were off and they were going, and it was just so fun to watch. And when you're doing those offensive transition, it makes you want to play better and harder defense because they're the easy buckets you can get.
Nicholson was great as well as the game wore on. 23 points for her. It was 26-7 though, as we noted, for the Adelaide Lightning in transition. They were able to push it. Steph Talbot was on triple-double watch at one point, as was Sanaya Fagan. And they combined nicely, moving up to 5th on the Bunnings Warehouse ladder with 4 and 7. And a well-placed to really challenge the Spirit, I think, going into next Friday.
Yeah, they are. You know, they are. I think we heard, you know, from the girls after the game there that they believe that they're building something, and you can just see it. Like, something's clicked for them, and they have been building the last few games. So I think they'll really go into Bendigo looking forward to that and trying to make their mark. But this was their first win away from home as well, and that can really galvanise a team when you win on the road.
Dallas Lockridge had a massive second half, 5 points at half-time. She finishes breaching the 20-point barrier once again and really making her case for an all-WNBL calibre season.
She really is. She's been so impressive. She's really taken this team, led them so well. She's still so young and she's going to keep getting better, but she has been impressive this season. And again, she was impressive tonight. She didn't shoot the ball great in that first quarter, but she kept that aggressive mindset and that mentality, and she really showed up in those last 3 quarters.
Going away early, but that decision-making, really maturity beyond her years, I thought, Rachel.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's tough when you're a young player, particularly in that point guard spot where you've got to be the leader, and if things aren't going your way, you can sort of internalise, but she didn't do that tonight. She came out, like you said, Beck, continued to be aggressive and really led her team to that victory in the second half.
They are hot on the heels of the UC Capitals in 4th position. Here's a look at the Bunnings Warehouse ladder, now sitting at 4 and 7. They're right there, starting to get some separation from 4th down to the bottom 4.
They sure are. We obviously have another game tonight, but UC Caps against getting that win against Flyers really was so good for them, separating them. But Adelaide, they are on the hunt. They want that 4th spot.
They certainly do, and they've got the tools to do some damage. Here's a look at the remainder of the round 9 fixture in the WNBL, and it is a double-header today. Looking forward to this one, 6:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time. It's the Townsville Fire and the Perth Lynx.
Oh gosh, I've been waiting for this one all round, and I think, you know, a few of our viewers will be as well. And, you know, these two going up, I think especially since Hanju landed, we've been looking forward to this one. So I'm excited to see this matchup.
Absolutely. They last met back in round 3. Townsville prevailed in Perth 79-70, but as you mentioned, Rachel, no Hanju in that one. It's a different look Perth side, and fascinated to see how they go about that. Lauren Cox will have her work cut out, as will Alicia Froling, I imagine, Beck.
Oh, there is going to be matchups galore tonight, and I've already got my popcorn waiting because this is going to be a star-studded game.
Milasowa coming up against her former side. Any feeling there, do you reckon, Rachel?
Oh, look, there will be a little bit, but, you know, I think both teams and Mila will be locked in and just trying to do what they can to get that win. So, you know, I think we'll just see a few smiles after the game.
It is going to be a cracker. 6:30 p.m. Make sure you do not miss it. The Fire and the Perth Lynx. Thanks for joining us here for the Lightning, who get it done by 19 points over the Sydney Flames. at the Key Centre. Liam Ellison, Beck Cole, Rachel Jarry and Joe Healy courtside. And from all of our hard-working team, thank you for joining us for WNBL 26 action.